All right, we've reached that point of the evening. For the reason we're here. We've seen them darting back and forth, making sure the tent was straight, making sure our cord was straight, making sure everybody else was straight. Start clapping right now for the original Sad Boy comedy, Will Gardner!
I'm the headliner. I gotta make sure I gotta have the coolest song. The holy shit! Clap it up for the rest of these comics, toughing it out with me for no goddamn reason. I don't know how much money they think they're getting, but they're getting some. I feel like you guys came out in this to see me. Like, I could probably get you guys to do whatever the hell I want. Who wants to go harass my ex-wife later? So, I just turned 33 a couple weeks ago. So, same life expectancy as Jesus. I made it. I like when I drive by the cemeteries and they got that dead Jesus out in the front. Like, I feel like those are the best ones. Like, I don't think God's watching over them extra or anything. I think it's just like saying, like, nobody's getting out of here. Not even this guy. Which made it all the more alarming when I saw the same gentleman on the crucifix in the emergency room last week. I did not want to end up in the cemetery. I had a kidney stone. Yeah. Which has now, like, damaged my emo cred because, like, now everyone knows I'm not in constant pain all the time. Just sometimes. Maybe that's what the deal is with the emo bands. Like, maybe they just all have constant kidney stones. And that's why they're so upset all the time. That's why they're part of rock music. Yeah, I can throw some cheap ones out there. Start getting into comedy, you meet a lot of unemployed people. I know my man John's still looking. And you know what, John? I have the best recommendation for you.
What's that?
You need to get into hospice care.
Okay.
It is the one job in the world no one can fuck up. If your patient dies, that's what you were there for. You can go home early. I've never been unemployed for that long. I've been underemployed though. I had a nice stint at CVS some years back. I was the photo lab supervisor. And all the prestige $9.36 an hour could buy. They had to train me, of course. You can't be a supervisor of the whole one machine if they don't train you. They want to let you know, like, all right, we do not print porn here. We can print nude photos, but we cannot print porn. So the gentleman passing the torch had to explain that one. Apparently, porn by CVS standards is 2 or more naked people touching it anyway. So if you got a gal on the couch all spread out giving a little flick, that's clean. Throw another girl giving her a high five? That is lewd and illicit and fuck you. Stand a guy on a diving board jerking off into a pool full of kids? As long as no one's touching, you can run that. So, John, if anyone gets mad at you for those OnlyFans charges, just let him know. According to CVS policy, there's nothing to be upset about. I've had to print some boobs there before, but there's this one time I call her Boob Lady. So I was not taking the time to get this woman's name. She comes in a sundress, and one boob just hanging out, and she's got no fucking clue. I'm like 19 years old Christian kid. This is my first one, and it wasn't even a good one. It was like the almighty creator got curious about what happens when you drop a bowling ball in a sock. So she's frantically searching around the store for something. I'm frantically searching for God's forgiveness. And then she comes up to the counter. Still out, still no clue. And the question she asked was burned in my mind forever. Y'all don't have the ones with the feet in them? I don't know what that was. I acted like I knew and said, no, we're out of it. You can just go. Bye. I don't know. Was it like those slippers you get your mom from CVS when you forgot about her Mother's Day? One little foot spas, some like obscure foot fetish magazine? I don't know. 14 years later, it still haunts me. Like, that's how I've survived. I've survived anxiety and divorce and PTSD, and I keep holding on because I cannot die until I know what the fuck this woman wanted. I took a trip down to Virginia recently to visit my grandparents, because despite those jokes, I'm a very kind person. And I witnessed it was one of the most harrowing moments of my life, despite Boob Lady. I watched my grandpa make a man remake a pizza at fucking Domino's because he got the thin crust, so they were cutting it the square ways. He was very adamant with the man, pizza comes in wedges. And then he's telling me about it on the car ride back. I'm trying to like live tweet my girlfriend. Like I don't know like how bad his cataracts are. Like if he can see me like giving updates, because I'm like mortified 6 hours from home. I need to tell somebody about this shit. And he's not senile, so I can't like tell him about himself like it's something new. He just knows pizza comes in fucking wedges. And then so we get back home to grandma and telling her like they were cutting it in squares, and how are you supposed to divide that between two and three people? And of course he brings the clincher. These people want $15 an hour. They're just gonna buy shit. Like my grandparents are the dumbest people with money I ever met. Like my grandpa got cataract surgery last year. Like those are just God's sunglasses, man. Embrace it. One time he was at the store, and he thought the cashier shorted him a quarter, so he called the cops on a prepaid phone that was 25 cents a minute. That is 1,000,000% fucking true. My mom was there. I'm a very honest comedian. But the worst thing they did, they sent me a $25 Visa gift card for my birthday. Now you think that sounds nice, but those things have a $5 activation fee, which means they sat down and said, we have $30, what should we get him? I know, let's get him $25. Now, the commercials, Visa likes to act like, oh, it's a more secure way to send money. There's no one to stop someone that steals my car if it's got a Visa in it. Like, there's nobody at Target like, hey, excuse me, we need to see the birthday card that came in. If we don't see a happy panda wishing you a very special day, we're gonna call the police. My grandparents go to a lot of yard sales. Yard sales a whole different fucking culture in Virginia. Yo, do not mess with Virginia yard sales, okay? They like all the like they're the old people that show up an hour early, like they're gonna find the deal of a lifetime at the end of their lifetime. Like they go on like missions, like it's like Indiana Jones and the Raiders of that one NASCAR hat my grandpa doesn't have. They mostly do estate sales, which means they made friends with someone at church who was a little older and had nicer clothes, and then they got heat stroke from their yard sales and died. And then they buy their clothes from them, from their kids. I kid you not, like they go to these things, like they need nothing, okay? When I was down there, and I brought my daughter, she's 5, and we had to sleep in the living room because they have a 3-bedroom house. And one of those rooms is just for my grandmother's 200 pairs of slacks. That is not counting her jeans and her pajama pants and whatever else she wears, the capris and shit. That's just 200 pairs of slacks. The only thing she has more of is Beanie Babies and blood pressure medication. We got a lot of ways to measure, like, everything, you know. Earthquakes, we got the Richter scale. Dicks, we've got inches -2. There's no way. There's no like universal force of toilet flushing measurement. It's just like how many of what kind of ball it can flush. My parents' toilet can apparently take out 9 billiards balls in one shot. I've got a buddy. His can take a whole bucket of golf balls. I do not know which is better. I just know that's why I don't sit down to pee. We've been seeing a lot of rebranding stuff lately, which is good. Aunt Jemima is now the Pearl Milling Company. Uncle Ben is Ben's Original, much to Spider-Man's dismay. But, you know, I'm a proper little snowflake. Like, I want to take everything out. Especially these fake butters, acting like there's something. There's too many alternative facts out there. We need to be honest about our alternative spreads. So we need some new names for this shit, like Lando Fakes. How about Country Crock of Shit? Or the one I'm banking for the most, the Margarine Football Team. But these people all these people against renaming shit and talking about the Blue Lives Matter. Could you imagine what the fuck these yokels would do if an actual blue family moved in next door to them? With their blue balls and their blues music. And that crazy greeting they always got. Dabba-dee, dabba-die. These are the same people they don't like when I come to these shows and I tell them how stupid the national anthem is. It's a song about a flag that didn't blow up, guys. That's the whole song. It's two armies flashing their red rockets at each other, and the flag didn't blow up. Like, what if that was just like the whole attitude? Like, that's all we have to be proud of here. See a quarterback win the Super Bowl? We're good. We're good.
Maybe.
It's all right. I'm a fucking ninja. We're running this. We're running this into the ground. I don't fucking care. I mean, I already have your money. I can stop now, but we're gonna give you a good show. So if that's just like the whole attitude in America, like, oh, our flag didn't burn, yeah. Get like a quarterback that just won a Super Bowl, like, hey, what was your inspiration out there today? Well, I was just thinking about my mom and all the time she didn't catch on fire when I was a kid. And now we got the Black National Anthem's been gaining popularity. Lift Every Voice and Sing. It's a very nice song. But then you still got these same fucking people like, well, if we did a white national anthem, people would get all upset. There already is a white national anthem. It is Smooth by Carlos Santana. If you don't get that reference, you've never been to a wedding. I gotta tell you guys, despite the fact that I'm wearing my own merch that I made. I got picked on in high school. I remember this one day in gym class, this kid comes up to me, 6'3" at 17, probably 9 feet by now. He comes up to me in gym class and he says, "Hey, Steve's better than you at basketball." Steve was blind. And he was getting more shots than me. And I work at a high school, so that was last week. They just came out with emojis of blind people, like, to be more inclusive, because, you know, who better to appreciate really tiny pictures? The coolest part of working at a high school is all the anti-drug propaganda posters. They come up with some funny stuff. They should do their own comedy. Or I'll just steal their shit and write my stuff. But they had this series about all the lies people tell you about drugs. Like, oh, they said weed wasn't a gateway drug. They lied. They said meth would help me get through finals. They lied. I'll count that one as a half-truth. Because meth will get you through finals and a few walls. But my personal favorite is, he said if I did crack with him, he'd love me forever. He lied. I don't consider myself to be a crack enthusiast. But like I said, I'm an honest man. I don't feel that poster is fair to crack. It's not crack's fault that guy's a ghosting piece of shit. The poster should read, "Don't go out with this guy. He'll give you free crack and then he's out of your life forever." Or, if you fancy it, go out with this guy. He'll give you free crack and then he's gone. I was actually, this is my first time in high school. I was actually homeschooled. I was so fucking homeschooled when I started working at schools. I missed the bell for 3 days because I was still waiting for that old school metal sound from the Saved by the Bell song. This tent is ready to betray me. We've been through so much together. Just hold out a little longer, friend. So it's fun, like, when you've been homeschooled and, like, you don't know all the nice slang terms till you're on the mean streets of Target when you're 20. Imagine my horror when my supervisor tells me an old woman ate shit out on the curb, and I don't know that means she fell down. Of course, I was really curious about fuck. That was the big bad one. Turns out it means whatever the fuck I want, but I got this Alexa thing for my car, so I can just ask it to play songs. And I said, "Alexa, play Damn Excuses by Underoath." She proceeds to say, "Damn Excuses by Underoath." I said, "Oh, I can get Alexa to say bad words, 'cause I'm a child. Let's have fun with this." I said, "Alexa, play Fuck Love by All That Remains." And she bleeped herself out. I don't know why fuck is worse than damn. Damn you just means I hope you die and get poked by the devil forever. That's pretty severe. Fuck you is I hope you live and get to poke someone you love. That's only a threat to children and asexuals. It was fun, like, being an ex-homeschool kid when I was in the ER. They gave me some pain meds for my kidney stone. They gave me, like, the low-grade stuff. They said, like, if you're still in pain, we can give you some morphine. But that's your choice. So they're telling me I can try drugs for the first time. My insurance will buy it for me. And I'm surrounded by the best safety net imaginable. And I was still too scared to try it. I had to drive home. Being homeschooled, of course, I also grew up in the church. I heard so many people do those prayers where you just mention every possible outcome to God to make sure your bases are covered. No matter what, the prayer just comes true. Be all, God, we lift up Sister Rhonda and her cancer, and we just ask you to just miraculously take it away, Lord. Confound the doctors, and just let them know it was a miracle from you, God. And if that's not your will, then guide the doctor's hands, during the surgery in 2 weeks. Let her come out okay. And if that's not your will, God, then take her, free of pain as she goes, God. And if that's not your will, God, maybe that wayward son of hers we haven't seen in 87 Sundays has some Percocets she can use. And if that's not your will, God, I guess you tried. Good job, bud. I knew this one guy. He would pray, like, this is true. I'm an honest comic. He would pray every night that, like, Jesus wouldn't come back until after he was able to be married. Because, that's the only time we're allowed to have booty. And he's been married twice since. I feel like if he gets married a third time, he's just like daring God now. Like, huh, you coming back yet? I'll keep getting married till you do. My notes got rained on. I pretend to be professional. Well, Bill Burr uses notes, so I'm as good as Bill Burr. And you guys got in for $10. Good job. I just had been seeing my girlfriend for 6 months. It's been nice. She has been in recovery from opiates for, is it 8 years now?
Yeah.
8 years now. Like, she's a fucking hero.
Thank you.
Hero's what you call men. So she's my heroine. With an E on the end. Let's make that clear. She's not doing E, just has an E on the end. It's good being off the dating apps though. Holy shit. They are horrifying. There are so many polyamorous women on there. And most of them are very large. Like, just because there's enough of you to go around doesn't mean you have to. Did you bring enough gum for everyone? It's like seeing all that. It's like a weird, like, they would rather like all share one guy than go out with me. Like, Scott may be fucking 6 other girls, but at least it's not Will Gardner from Haddon Township. That guy. Sometimes you actually get to meet horrible people. Well, nice people that are horribly horrifying. I went on this one date. I went to her house and we're gonna watch a couple movies. Right out of the gate, I find out she's missing about 1/3 of the teeth I thought she had. Now, she was divorced like me, so maybe she lost them in the settlement. I don't know. I didn't pry. You know what? I swear I'm a nice person. But we watched a couple movies. We went our separate ways. There wasn't really a spark. And it's a damn good thing there wasn't. As I saw on Facebook a couple days later, she was out having lunch with her ex-husband, celebrating their anniversary. It was kind of weird, yeah. Well, apparently they stay friends for their kid, which under normal circumstances would be endearing. But why would these be normal circumstances if I'm telling them to you? I met their child. She was a box of ashes on her mother's dresser. Yes. That honest to God happened. God, these walls are thin, John. I just hope they don't celebrate the kid's birthday next, because I don't imagine you can light too many candles around a kid that's been through that. like I said, I'm a nice guy. No, I'm clearly not at this point. But, you know, I'll get the kid a sandbox or something. You know, kids like sandboxes, right? All right, that's all I've got for tonight. You guys are fucking phenomenal coming out and dealing with all this. This has been wonderful and terrible all at once. We'll get some indoor places going. Keep your ears to the ground for that. Have a good night, guys.
Thank you.